Brought to you by GTA, your island, your network.
Yeah, well, it was a long expedition. It was a 5-week long, very intense expedition. We departed from Darwin, Australia, and then went through the Timor Sea and up to the Pacific Ocean and got here to Guam.
Monica Naranjo is the outreach coordinator for the Falker, a research vessel from the Schmidt Ocean Institute. The institute was founded by Google executive Eric Schmidt and his wife Wendy. It stopped in Guam following a lengthy trip studying a relatively unknown part of the ocean, known as the sea surface microlayer.
It's the part where the air touches the water, and it's as thin as a hair. But actually everything that comes into the ocean or out of the ocean has to go through that boundary layer. And the chemistry and the biology and everything that goes on in there, it's completely different from the water that is just below it. So everything is transformed once it crosses that barrier, but we don't know a lot about it, and because it's so difficult to study.
Scientists were able to use innovative research methods to study the layer through over 400 water samples, in the hopes that this information could lead to more accurate models used to predict the impacts of climate change.
So in this expedition, what was also very exciting was not only that the science that we were doing was so novel, but also how we were doing the science. So we use unmanned aerial vehicles, or drones, if you want to call them that, for the first time, using them to carry scientific instruments away from the ship, because the ship is a metal structure, so it can affect the water that is around it.
Aside from these drones, scientists aboard the Falker also used a remotely operated catamaran. She said these new and innovative instruments and techniques are available to any scientists who apply and are accepted to study aboard the Falker.
If you're a scientist and you think you have something that's worth studying in the ocean, then you apply for time in the Falcon, and you go through a very rigorous process. And then if your proposal was accepted, then you are very lucky to have access to all the instruments that we have on board, and you come sail with us and conduct the science. And because we understand that in order to learn from the planet we live in, it is imperative that we understand better the ocean, and that is so unexplored, and we have so little resources globally dedicated exclusively to understanding our oceans that's our mission, to just better our understanding and also push the technology that we're using in order to study the ocean.
The Falker will be back in Guam this December for a transit trip to Hawaii. While in Guam, scientists will be conducting outreach activities in the community.
Brought to you by GTA, your island, your network.